Hello, my name is Ruth Wolfish. I'm the IEEE Client Services Manager, and my email is posted there on the front page of this webinar, IEEE Xplore at Rutgers, and the URL for IEEE Xplore is listed there. So who is IEEE? We're the world's leading professional association dedicated to the practicing engineer with the mission of advancing technology for humanity. We publish the top-cited science and technology research in the field, most notably our journals, conferences, and standards. But today we're going to talk about IEEE Xplore, which is the digital library that all the full-text content resides on in PDF and HTML. Included in IEEE Xplore is all the full-text content in PDF and HTML from these 39 IEEE technical societies, which make up IEEE. If you want to access IEEE Xplore, go to this page that I'm sure you're familiar with. On the left-hand side, under Resources, click on Databases. You'll be taken to an alphabetic listing, click on I, and then click on IEEE Xplore, and you will connect. And you will be able to access the full text on IEEE Xplore. If you don't do that, you will not see access provided by Rutgers University at the top homepage of IEEE Xplore, which means you can search the database in full text, but you can only see it to the abstract level. So remember, go through the authentication method that I just showed you a moment ago to get to the full text on IEEE Xplore that you have access to through Rutgers. Underneath My Settings off the home page of Xplore, what can I access? Included in the Rutgers full text subscription on IEEE Xplore is the IEEE Journals, Transactions, and Magazines. IEEE Journals and Transactions are a little more R&D oriented, and magazines are more application oriented. Early access documents are documents that will be in a full text issue in the next 1 to 9 months. So we might have 3 articles from a journal issue that's coming out in 1 to 9 months. Instead of holding those 3 articles back, they're up on Xplore in full text and accessible through you through the Rutgers authentication method that I showed you a moment ago. IEEE conferences. IET is our sister society out of England, formerly known as IEEE. Their conferences are up on Xplore in full text. And you have access to all the IEEE published standards except for the drafts and the IEEE Standards Dictionary online. Also included in your full text access through Rutgers University are the MIT Press eBooks library until 2013, the Bell Labs Technical Journal, and VDE Verlag, which is a group similar to IEEE out of Germany, and their conference papers are up on Xplore in English. So how do you know by just doing a search what you have access to in full text and what you don't, or what's included in the Rutgers full text subscription? You can see by the icons listed here to the right of each citation. The top one in the red rectangle is an open green lock. It shows you that it's included in the Rutgers full text subscription to IEEE Xplore. The bottom one is a draft standard, not including in the Rutgers subscription. So it's a closed red lock icon, a quick visual to show you easily what's included in the Rutgers full text subscription to IEEE Xplore and what you can search in full text but only see to the abstract level. New journals in 2020 and 2021. These will be included in the Rutgers full text subscription to IEEE Xplore. Now let's talk about 2020, new features and enhancements. But before we do that, let's talk about searching. The search bar off the home page, you can use Boolean operators, proximity operators that we'll talk about in a moment, and field searching. Keep in mind the search bar off the home page searches metadata only, which is citation, abstract, and index terms. You cannot search full text from there. It's a great place to start. It's not the place to end. And by the way, you do have to know the format for the Boolean operators, proximity operators, and field searching if you use the search bar off the home page of Xplore. Advanced Search, which is linked underneath the search bar on the home page of Xplore, allows you to use the Boolean operators in the drop-down or the search box. You don't have to know the format. The proximity operators, you can use them in the search box, and field searching in the drop-down. Command Search allows you to do everything via the drop-down or the search box. So we've talked about the proximity operators of near and near. Let's delve into that a little more deeply. Remember, this is a database of over 5.2 million full-text documents in PDF or HTML. The near and near operator are great tools to have in your toolkit to really target and narrow your search. The near operator, in the format shown here, allows you to say how close or how far apart words or phrases are to each other based on the number that you place to the right of the near operator. So the example there is implantable near within 1 to 3 words of cardiac in that order or reverse. 3 can be any number you choose, 22, 122, whatever you want, but that specifies how close or how far apart the words or phrases you're looking for are to each other in the metadata or the full text. Near says look for the words only in the order specified. So for the example, it's implantable near within 1 to 3 words of cardiac, only in the order specified in metadata or full text. The basic search off the home page of Xplore. Remember, it searches metadata only, it's case insensitive, and you can use throughout Xplore the 2 different wildcards. An asterisk is an unlimited amount of characters, and a question mark stands for 1 unknown character. Wildcards can be supported in phrase searches and with proximity operators. The proximity operators are the near or near operators. But let's go back to the search bar on the home page of Xplore. Remember, it searches metadata only. If you use the drop-down, you can specify what you'd like to search within: all, books, conferences, courses, journals and magazines, standards, an author's name, or a specific citation. Underneath the search bar is the advanced search. 3 search boxes join together with the Boolean terms of and or not in a drop-down. Notice I placed a red rectangle around the plus sign to the right of the 3rd search box. That allows you to add 8 additional search boxes for a total of 11. Boolean and proximity operators are now supported within the search boxes, but you do have to know the format. Users can now enter a multitude of different search terms in one search box. And look at the different fields on IEEE Xplore. If you're looking for a specific topic, I would specify that it's in all metadata. So it will be the main thrust of the article. For content that you'd like to be there, but it doesn't have to be the main thrust of the article, I would specify full text and metadata. And notice about 3/4 of the way down is author affiliation. That's where the author was affiliated when he or she submitted the document. If you're looking for papers written by Rutgers authors, put Rutgers in the author affiliation. If you're looking for internships or jobs and you want to know what a certain institution authors are publishing on in IEEE Xplore, put in the name of the institution in author affiliation, and you'll find out. So you've done a search on Rutgers. Up at the top, it drops search results into the different content type buckets on IEEE Xplore. Underneath that are the list of the citations. Notice open green lock icons shows you that it's included in the full text of the Rutgers subscription. Sort by most popular allows you to specify which document, based on your keyword search, has been downloaded the most by everyone worldwide that searches Xplore, not just Rutgers people. And you can resort. Relevance is the default, newest or oldest first. Sorry, I have frog in my throat. Most cited by papers, that's IEEE and other publishers' papers, and there are direct links to those papers off the HTML of each document, or most cited by patents, US, European, or WIPO, and there are direct links to those patents off the HTML page of each document. Notice on the left-hand side, publication topics, underneath the list of different refinements on the left-hand side of the search results page. I used a red arrow to show you publication topics. If you click on that, you will find a list of the 25 top in-spec controlled indexing terms based on your search set. So it really shows you, for this example, what authors are publishing on from Rutgers. It also gives you additional keywords to really narrow and target your search. Saving content or searches. You've done a search on Xplore. You may want to save content or searches. You can download up to 10 PDFs at a time into a zip file. By the way, it does keep the title of the document so you know which document is which within the zip file. You can export up to 2,000 results into an Excel spreadsheet, 31 different fields, everything except for the full text. And with an IEEE personal account that we'll talk about in a moment, you can save a search. Refinements and supplemental items. Our user said to us, it's great that all the documents are in PDF and HTML, but I'd like more. So of course, IEEE responded. On the left-hand side of the search results page, one of the refinements is supplemental items. It tells you how many documents on IEEE have media, video, data sets, or code. Just by looking at your search results, you can easily tell which document has those supplemental items. And they're included in the Rutgers subscription to IEEE Xplore. Code that I mentioned in the supplemental items. If you find a document that has a code icon, click on it, and it will show you the code behind the research in the paper. The code is hosted on CodeOcean, a computational reproducibility platform in the cloud that allows users to view, modify, run, and download code included with the IEEE articles. Notice this code is in MATLAB. You don't have to have MATLAB on your computer since CodeOcean runs in the cloud. Cite This. Our user said to us, can you make the Cite This button more prominent? So of course we did on each HTML page of the document. HTML and PDF. This is what it looks like on IEEE Xplore. Toward the top, you can see the title, the large Cite This button, and next to it, the red PDF button. Underneath that is the abstract and the full text of the article in HTML. Or you can go on the left-hand side under Document Sections and jump from section to section. One of the sections in the HTML are the charts, graphs, diagrams. You can see them in context or in full size. You can use them within any presentation at Rutgers. You cannot share them outside of Rutgers, but you can share them or use them on any presentation within Rutgers to Rutgers associates. Keywords, references, and citations. On the left-hand side is a listing of references. That's prior art or prior documents that are cited by the document that you're looking at. They're IEEE and other publishers. If they're IEEE, they're linked within the IEEE Xplore, and if they're other publishers, then there's a link to Google Scholar or Crossref. Keywords. IEEE is really rich in keywords. You saw publication topics on the search results page, but on each HTML page of a document are additional keywords to help you on your search. IEEE keywords are from the IEEE Thesaurus. Inspect controlled indexing are keywords that have been around for quite a while, but well-respected keywords. Inspect non-controlled indexing are a little bit more cutting edge. And author keywords, what the author suggested when he or she submitted the document. Also on the HTML page is a list of citations, future papers, or future patents that cite back to the paper that you're looking at. If they're IEEE, they're linked within. If they're other publishers, they're linked on the other publisher's website. And patents, U.S., European, and WIPO, with direct links to the full text of those patents on the Patent Office website. Sign in for an IEEE personal account. You need to go through the Rutgers library page that I showed you in the beginning of this presentation to connect to the full text on IEEE Xplore. If you don't do that, you will see institutional sign-in as displayed here, which means you haven't gone through the authentication method to get to the full text on IEEE Xplore that is part of the Rutgers subscription. If you see institutional sign-in at the top of the home page of Xplore, you'll be able to search Xplore in full text, but you will only be able to see the content down to the abstract level. So go through the Rutgers library page that I showed you earlier to get to the full text. On the right-hand side of the home page of Xplore is Create an Account. It's an IEEE personal account. It alone does not give you access to the full text. What it does is give you the individual, personalized features on IEEE Xplore. It can be used in conjunction with the Rutgers Library access to full text or separately, but they do separate things. If you want to create an account, upper right-hand corner of the home page of Xplore, put in your first name, your last name, your email address, Rutgers or any other email address, because this alone does not associate you with the full text subscription that Rutgers has to IEEE Xplore. To get to the full text, you need to go through the Rutgers library page in the process that I showed you earlier in this presentation. So what does a personal account do? It allows you to set search preferences, designate what you want to search and how you want your search results displayed in IEEE Xplore by setting search preferences. Search history keeps a record of your 100 most recent searches for later viewing and combining of sets. In search history, you can combine up to 50 keywords and 5 wildcards, and it keeps a record of your most current last 100 searches. Save searches and author alerts. You can stay up to date with the latest research by saving your search. You save a search that I showed you earlier in the presentation, your search string will be run against IEEE Xplore, and if there's new content, you will get a listing by email or RSS with direct links to the content, but go through the Rutgers library page to get to the full text. You can set an alert on an article of interest to know when it was cited by a more current paper on IEEE Xplore, or follow an author to be notified when you have a new paper on Xplore. A great tool to use for your advisor or maybe one of your instructors. Table of contents alert. Sign up to receive an email when a new journal or magazine in your area of interest has been posted online with a link to the table of contents. So what does the author feature look like? You found a document on Xplore. You'd like to know more about one of the authors. Click on the author's name. It will bring up the author profile. It will tell you other variations that the author publishes under for their name, their affiliation, their publication topics, their biography, their publications, their co-authors. Interesting, by the way, if you're doing an interview with somebody to find out what their author profile lists on IEEE Xplore. And if you'd like to follow this author to know when this author has another paper on IEEE Xplore, when you've signed into your personal account, click on Follow This Author, and it will be set up as an alert, and you will be alerted when your author has a newer paper on IEEE Xplore. And this is just a listing of the different alerts you can sign up to via your IEEE personal account. Remember, go through the Rutgers library page that I showed you earlier to get to the full text on Xplore. And separately or together, you can sign into your IEEE personal account in the upper right-hand corner. A personal account allows you to save searches, follow an author, set preferences, but a personal account alone does not give you access to the full text. You have to go through the Rutgers library page to get to the full text. I've covered a lot in this presentation, and off the home page of Xplore, under Help, Resources and Help, it gives you more details on anything you'd like more information on. On the left-hand side are more help or assistance, more details. Toward the top is a global search of resources and help. In the middle section, it talks about remote access, and underneath that are featured videos, all less than 5 minutes on our most popular topics. On the right-hand side are new features, a listing and description of them, and by the way, we had an update on Xplore yesterday with some exciting new features. Author tools. By the way, if you're considering publishing with IEEE or you're considering publishing in another peer-reviewed publisher's database, Author Tools is a great resource. It's specific to IEEE but generic enough for anyone that wants to publish a peer-reviewed paper. It's step-by-step how to publish with over 15 really clear, up-to-date videos on how to do it. And I want to make you aware of an incredible resource at Rutgers University Libraries. Connie Wu is the Engineering and Patent Information Specialist. Her email is there. And May is a Science Research Librarian. Her email is there. Both of them are part of your Rutgers University Library staff. They're incredibly helpful. They're very well versed on IEEE Xplore, and I would suggest contacting them first if you have a question. Remember, to get to IEEE Xplore, go through the library page that I showed you earlier in this presentation, and if you have follow-up questions, these are your best resources at Rutgers University Library. And just a reminder of who's been talking to you on this afternoon. My name is Ruth Wolfish. I am the IEEE Client Services Manager. My email is r.wolfish, W-O-L-F-I-S-H, @IEEE.org. And underneath all that is just a reminder what the URL for IEEE Xplore is. Keep in mind, if you don't go through the Rutgers library page, you won't be able to get to the full text. IEEE Xplore Full Text Access is a benefit of being associated with Rutgers.